You are being gaslighted. And the worst part is, the person doing it is you. We have all been there. It's 3 a.m., the house is quiet, and suddenly your brain decides to pull up a 4K video file of a slightly awkward thing you said 5 years ago. You freeze. You cringe. You start analyzing every word, every pause, and every facial expression. You convince yourself that everyone else remembers that moment just as vividly as you do. But here is the brutal truth that psychology teaches us. They don't. And you aren't actually remembering the past. You are trapped in a loop of trying to fix it. Why does this hurt so much? It's not because you said something silly. It's because of something psychologists call the ideal self gap. When you replay that conversation, you aren't trying to understand what happened. You are trying to rewrite the script. You are imagining a version of yourself that was smoother, funnier, and smarter. You are rehearsing a scene where you didn't stutter or make that weird joke. But because you can't change the past, your brain panics. It treats this gap between who you were and who you wanted to be as a threat, keeping you stuck in analysis paralysis. Here is where it gets scary. Science tells us that human memory doesn't work like a camera. It works like a Wikipedia page that anyone can edit. Every single time you recall that awkward memory, you aren't pulling up the original file. You are recalling the last time you thought about it. With every replay, you unknowingly add your current anxiety and insecurities into the memory. You exaggerate the awkward silence. You invent judgmental looks on people's faces that weren't there. By the 10th time you replay it, you are torturing yourself over a fiction. You are literally upset about a moment that no longer exists in reality. You might tell yourself, "I'm just analyzing this so I don't make the mistake again." That is a lie. There is a massive difference between reflection and rumination. Reflection has a solution. You learn a lesson and move on. Rumination is a circle. You learn the lesson, forget it, feel bad, and repeat the process. This isn't about self-improvement. It is about control. You are trying to control how people perceive you retroactively. You are trying to control a narrative that has already ended. It is an exhausting attempt to prove to yourself that you are worthy of connection, even though you aren't perfect. So, how do we stop the tape? We have to realize that awkwardness isn't a crime. It's the price of admission for being human. That conversation you are obsessing over, it wasn't a prophecy of your failure. It was just a Tuesday. It was just a moment where you were tired, or nervous, or trying your best. The version of you in that memory didn't have the wisdom you have now. So, instead of trying to edit the scene, try forgiving the actor. Let that moment stay in the past, imperfect, messy, and gone. Focus that energy on the conversation you're going to have today, because that is the only one you can actually influence.